Okay. All right. I would like to welcome everybody to our Monday mentoring call. We are the Forex Superstars, people helping people. And I'd like to say hello to our members. We have Janet is here and Ron is here, David and Karen, Gabe, Terry, and Ranj. Thank you everybody for coming, and whoever else joins us. First of all, I want to acknowledge Ron just had some kind of minor oral surgery, so we hope you feel better soon.
Oh, I just had a biopsy. It's a bit sore, but nothing worse. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Okay, great. All right. Just a loose agenda for the call. First, we're going to see a video from Ron about mentoring. We're going to see that video, and then after that, we're going to do something called accomplishments. Victories, accomplishments, good news. If anybody would like to spend a minute or two sharing some good news about their CFX experience from the last week or 2 weeks, we'll take a few minutes for that. I have a video I'd like to show after that, some tips for recruiting. It's 5 tips for recruiting. And then we'll have reactions from that video. And then when that's done, Janet will come in and Janet will have her portion of the call where she'll talk to you about accountability, help with challenges, and anything else that she or Ron would like to do afterwards. So how does that sound? Pretty good?
Yeah,
all right.
pretty good.
All right, great. All right, so we can get started. Janet, if you want to bring us into the mentoring video, that would be fine.
Okay, I certainly will do, Stephen. Thank you for the introduction.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay.
Remember everyone to mute your mics until you're ready to talk.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name's Ron Palmer, and the reason for this very short video is to set out the process that we go through, John Kinnear's process, the system for success, which we share with either our current members or our new people coming into the business. The first thing, guys, we ask them, because they may be passive members in your team, but they may not be passive by choice. They may only be passive because they're frightened about what they might need to do because they don't have the skill sets to speak to people or to share it. The first thing to find out that is we ask them what their why is. Why are they joining CFX? Usually it's because they want to hit that road to financial freedom, to improve their life and make sure when they retire, they don't have to retire on a meagre pension. It's normally something along those lines. So once you find that out, you don't know, but what they're tasking you with is the task to get them to financial freedom within 18 months and 2 years. And we know with a sponsor, it's just as important to pick the right sponsor as it is the right vehicle or the right company to get you there. Because with the wrong sponsor, we all know, because we've all had bad sponsors, it's almost impossible to get to where you want to be. Once you find that out, you say to them, you don't know, but we know, because we've seen the short video, Ron's video, of giving you the 3 options you have when you join CFX. We know by your why what option you're going to take. The only reason that you don't know it is because you haven't seen the video. Right? Option 1 is to be what we call the pocket money member. You're just going to earn passive money trading. You not only won't need my help, you wouldn't need the help of your sponsor. And you may stay, it's your choice, you may stay a pocket money member all your life, or you might wake up very soon and think, do you know what, I'm so grateful to the person who shares CFX with me. I'm now going to think about sharing it with people who I know enough to care about. But that's your choice. That's option 1. You will still get to that $100,000 back. However, we may be talking 7 or 8 years. Option 2 is an odd option. We don't get many people who take this option. They want to be a lone ranger. They don't see anything in this rubbish they hear about. It's teamwork that makes the dream work. They want to do it their way. There'll be no proper training and no proper skill sets. They may reach that road to financial freedom, but trust me, it's going to take them a whole lot longer. Or they do what 85% of people do. Excuse me, guys. They choose option 3, and that's the one which will get them where they want to be, financial independence in a year, 18 months. And just so you're puzzled about financial independence and the ramifications, lots of people think it means Lear jets and private yachts and eating every day in swanky restaurants, spinning around the world. It means none of those. If you actually Google it, it will tell you financial independence is nothing more than having the ability to pay one's reasonable daily living expenses without having to work. It's called a residual or a passive income. That's all it is. So we can get them there in 18 months. And do you know what? Financial independence is different to everyone. It doesn't necessarily mean the $100,000 pack, which will earn you $15,000 a pack. I spoke to 2 people earlier today, and their take on financial independence was about $2,500 a month. Now that is just a $15,000 to a $20,000 pack. Very, very achievable in a year, 15, 18 months. We're sharing it with our help. So once you've done that, we take them through the process that they would need. We explain to them, we do personal mentoring. And we do that with 3 scheduled meetings a week. I'm going to give you UK times, 11 a.m. on a Monday, 12 p.m. midday on a Friday, and for our UK people, not our Far East people, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. Even if you're saying, make any of those slots, it doesn't matter, because we're so flexible, we will fit in. You give us a time that suits you, and as long as you're able, as long as we're able to make it without schedule, we will fit you in. That's the first thing we do. So on the mentoring calls, we show you how to build your list and how important it is not to prejudge people. We show you the importance of having your targets written down so you know what your targets are. We tell you, if you're serious about this business, you need to commit to 5 hours a week. If you think that's a lot, we break it down and tell you it isn't. There's 168 hours in the week, and all 3 hours is 5 hours is 3% of that week, 40 minutes a day. We then break down what you need to do in that. So you will commit your targets, not ours, to either 5, 10, 15 or 20 messages or speaking to people a day. For me, even before I get out of bed, I'm so focused, I've sent out 15, 20 messages. Takes me no longer than 20 minutes. You then don't have to panic. Who do I send them to? We sort that out with you. We even compose the messages you're going to send out. You don't even have to worry what happens if they respond. What do I do? You put that down in a designated group we place you in, and me or a member of my very skilled leadership team will compose an answer. All we're doing is trying different keys to unlock, we call it the door of conversation. When we've unlocked it and you start chatting, one of my people will exactly know the time to reel them in and say, hey, I think the time is right now to get you on a Zoom call with one of our leaders. They're very transparent. They will show you their back office. They will show you their earnings. They will show you their withdrawals. They will show you various testimonials, answer all your objections. And only when you're ready, you will be in a position to be able to justify whether this business is for you or not. Yep, it's as easy as that. Thank you for listening, guys, and I will see you at the top. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that, showing that video, Janet. And I just wanted to say,
Stephen, can I come in there, Stephen? Lots of
please.
people are saying they're having trouble in getting on the call. The code hasn't changed since Janet started, nor has her number. Can you read it out again for people who can't get in, Janet? I just don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, when I clicked the link, the link was a broken link, so I typed in the numbers to join.
That's what I said. Just type in the
Yeah.
number. I mean,
Yeah.
how simple is it?
A lot of people only come in through the one way. They only click the link. So
yeah, they're not, you're right. Yeah, they don't know how
the
to.
other way is to you can tell, just click the Zoom icon, and when it brings up the Zoom window, you click join call,
It's
and
the
you
join
enter it.
button. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the second
but
way to do it.
Yeah, second way, but a lot of people don't know how to do it that way, though. That's the
That's right.
thing. Yeah.
So send the message out to click the Zoom icon and enter the number in.
Yeah,
And
I've
the
just done that, Stephen. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I just
you,
wanted to say
Eddie.
to the members that have joined in the meantime.
Yeah, I couldn't get in from the from Messenger. I had to go into my own records in my AOL of what Janet's link was.
All right. If we can send out if somebody can send out a new link, Janet, if you
Yeah.
want to send a new link to the Facebook group or the
I will
Facebook.
do. Yes,
We'll
I'll
be
read.
here.
I'll redo it after the call. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've redone the password. It was a lowercase g.
Yeah, it is a lowercase g.
But it's
It said
the
that.
one that Ron put up had a capital G.
Had a capital G, yeah.
Oh, beg your pardon.
It's all right. I've reposted it in the group, so hopefully they'll join us now.
Thanks, Karen.
All right. Just a quick comment about Ron's video. I've been in other platforms before, and there is mentoring available, but it is so expensive, and there might be so many people that are in a call that it's hard to get a word in edgewise. But the fact that Janet and Ron are willing to have a private instant message with you to go one-on-one where you can get help, mentoring help for free, is really, really valuable. So I think we're really lucky that we have that kind of a team, that we have that ability where we don't have to pay a lot of money to have that. All right. So, all right, let's move on. The next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to have victories and accomplishments and good news about your CFX experience in the past week or in the past 2 weeks. Would anybody like to share some news about getting anybody signed up with CFX and started? Any positive news, any upgrades? I know Gabe has some big news. Why don't we save that for last? Right. Does anybody have any great news about their CFX experience recently?
I have
anybody-
one. Can't even see me. Okay.
Hi, Karen. Okay.
I have one small one. A lady that started, I think in June or somewhere about there at $300 is upgrading today for $500 with her internal upgrade. So that's a small one, but she's a passive member, and we reached out to her just to say, we think it's time that you looked at your back office, because she really doesn't. And she said, yeah, she's got like $550. So, or is it 350? 350, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she can go from the 300 to 5 now.
She's excited. So
Oh,
that's
that's
a little
great.
one.
Yeah. When you have a lot of times we have passive members that don't even check and don't even look. So you have to remind them, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Great job, Karen and David. Okay. Does anybody else have some positive news to share? Any victories? Even a small victory is fine. All right. We have Colin. Go ahead, Colin. What do you have?
Yeah, just half an hour ago, actually, Rob Rubini signed up a new member, Japanese lady called Yuko, on a 1K pack.
Excellent.
So very happy about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. We need more Japanese people in our team. Definitely. I'm working on it.
Certainly
Trying.
do.
Great job, Colin. All right. Did you have something, Terry? Did you raise your hand?
Yeah, only a small one, really. It's just before the call today, I got onto somebody. I think she's been on the call. Janet will know, Sue Ellen. and she had her first full week's trading last week. She's got a lot of problems with her computer, so there's like a telephone call with me logging in to her account and getting the authentication code from me and all this sort of thing. But she was over the moon because she not only got her 5 days trading in this last week, she actually got 1 day's trading from the week before. So she was like bouncing around, you know. So yeah, she's happy. She's on the road. She's on the road to her financial freedom.
That's right. And congratulations for getting her started. Good for you. All right. All right, Gabe, you have some little news about your experience, right? What's going on?
Oh, look, it's been I must admit, it's been a great month, but I'll tell you what, just what you're just saying there, there's a few of my passive members in the team that I've actually gone through in the last couple of weeks, and going back to them and saying, listen, checking out, how's it going, all this stuff, and then saying, listen, I'm sure you're at the point where you're about to upgrade. So it must have been about, when I think about all the members in my team, there must have been about, I think all up round about five members that have upgraded the packages, right? So some of them are passive, and then some of them have actually been the ones who were starting to build. And then, we had Alex, and Alex who was here on Friday, but he's upgraded a couple of his members. But the other thing was that which is great, and then you start seeing those fast start bonus, or sorry, not the uni level bonuses coming up, the matrix, etc. All those things come. So they start to add up, and then it was literally time. I looked at mine. I knew it was coming anyway, but I looked at mine, and then I've got the business account. That one was was on the 15,000 pack, so I upgraded that to the 20,000. Now, obviously, that gave also on top of it a nice bonus of $750. So that allowed me to just upgrade my own individual account. So it was just like all on the same day.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what I mean? It was just like the gift was just giving. And I went,
Great
wow.
job.
Yeah, no.
Great job, Gabe.
It is.
Yeah, congratulations, Gabe.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
Well done, Gabe. Yeah, I thought I would be following in your footsteps today, but I'll have to wait till next week because I have a family friend who wants to get started on a 5K pack. But there's a week when you buy the Bitcoin, you have to wait a week on some of these wallets. So that's what happened.
Right.
I bought it.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait a week till next week. So we're gonna wait till next week for that. But just for me, tiny good news. My girlfriend has a 300 pack and she upgraded last week to a 500. So there was a little boost for her. So she was excited about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
Every step is a good step. Every step,
But,
no matter how small or how big, it's a good step.
But I let you into a little secret. I remember saying I think it was at the beginning. I think it was. I'm trying to remember the first week of October, this October, and I said to Janet, "You're gonna have I think you're gonna be executive because she's going every month. I almost reach it, but then I drop off. I said, Janet, don't worry, this is your month."
And it was.
She didn't know.
Goes back to that teamwork, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And knowing what your team is doing, I may add. I have made a point now of, on a Friday, going down as deep as I possibly can into the team and looking at the dials to see if I can't go to people and help them upgrade. The only problem is with looking at the dials in the back office under the leadership program is you don't know if they've had a withdrawal. So I've gone through to a few people and they've not able to upgrade because they've had a withdrawal. So, but it's still a good exercise to do because you are going to hit on people that haven't had withdrawals and are not aware because they're passive that they can upgrade, and you're pushing them towards their financial freedom quicker by pointing it out. So it
Yeah.
is a good move to do that. Yeah.
That's great.
Janet,
Yes,
I've got
Jim.
my lady Sam.
Yes.
She's having trouble getting internet. So what I've said is, why doesn't she transfer the money into my bank account and I'll set it up for her? So if you could get with me on that later on, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the
Thank
best
you.
way around it if there's a problem.
Brilliant.
It's much quicker to use your own wallet if they're happy to do that for you.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
no worries.
All
Okay,
right,
Stephen.
just Janet, in case anybody missed it, I know it was a week ago, but congratulations on executive again.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm not
Thank
sure
you
if
very
anybody
much.
missed that. Did anybody miss that?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So, okay. You know, if you have anything else that you would like to share, we'll definitely have time after the video to do that. So I'd just like to take the, move on to the next portion. So we're going to watch a video called, I don't know what the name of the video is, but basically we're going to see 5 tips to recruiting, 5 tips to growing your business. Last time I showed a video from Fraser Brooks, and this time I'm going to show a video from another prominent network marketer. And I think it's important to see different perspectives and just to see just different, you know, ways, different methods of just what people have to say about their tips for network marketing. A lot of the stuff that we have heard many times, but it's important to hear it again. I think it's a good practice for us to see a variety of these things. Remember, the scripts that we have are different, you know, so you don't have to take everything word for word. But let me share my screen and just show you some of the basic 5 tips we're going to see. So if you're taking notes, this might help you. All right, bear with me for a second. Okay, let me see here. All right, can you see this?
We can.
All right, so
Yep.
five tips on recruiting people into your business. So in this video, we're going to see basically these 5 tips. The first one, recruiting's a process. Second tip, don't prejudge. The third tip, it's a numbers game. The fourth tip, follow up immediately, immediate follow up. And the 5th tip, work with the willing.
Yeah.
And Darren is going to fill in all the information on this. Well, we're going to watch a video. It's 11 minutes. And he's going to fill in the blanks. So if you're taking notes, maybe you can fill in beyond what I'm showing you here. All right. All right. So let's get to the video. Let's see. Okay. All right, let me make sure I'm sharing the sound. Okay. All right, so here's Darren Kidd sharing 5 tips on how you can build your business.
Hey everybody, Darren Kidd here. Thanks for stopping by my channel. On this channel, we give you weekly content to help you succeed now in your network marketing business. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, multiple 7-figure earner, and been blessed to have a lot of success in the industry, but it wasn't always like that. Matter of fact, for 7 years, I struggled. I got to the point I said I'll never do it again. I was actually a member of the NFL, the No Friends Left Club. I ended up bankrupt, government assistance, car repossessed, living in a small town, felt like a failure in life when I couldn't even support my family. But very thankful that I had the right mentors that came into my life that taught me exactly what to do, that have led me to hundreds of recruits in this industry, personal recruits. And today I'm going to share with you 5 tips on what I did when I actually went out and recruited 10 people in just 10 days. So let's start with number 1. Number 1, it's understanding that recruiting is a process. It's not an event. Okay, this is a relationship business. So you're not gonna go out and go, look, I wanna recruit 10 people the next 10 days. You've gotta give it some time, because right now we're getting paid on what we did 90 days ago. 90 days from now, we'll be getting paid on what we do now. You have to fill your funnel and understand it does take some time. And if you think about a garden, we don't go out, you wouldn't plant a garden today and then show back up tomorrow and go, where's my harvest? Right? That would be silly. We know we have to plant the seeds, and we know that if we plant a few seeds, at the least, we're only gonna get a few crops, Or you can plant a lot of seeds, you're still gonna lose some, but you're gonna have a bigger harvest. You cultivate the ground, you water the seeds, then you reap your harvest. The same thing happens when it comes to network marketing, when it comes to recruiting. You have to plant your seeds. You have to water your seeds, but it is a relationship. It does take some time. What you want your prospect to actually recruit themselves when the timing is right. Number 2, don't prejudge. When I got into this industry, I made the mistake time and time again of making a list of who I thought may be interested. Doesn't work. People that I thought would be interested were not. Then there were people I go, no way, they would never be interested, they were. And then a lot of times it's not the people that we introduce to the business, it's who they lead us to, right? The duds can lead us to the studs or the studettes. So you wanna make a list of people that you know, care about, trust, respect, and then you just share the information. Don't prejudge. It's like if we opened up a sushi franchise and you go, well, I know I have a lot of friends of maybe that don't like sushi. It doesn't matter. You still want them to know you have the franchise because they're gonna know people that do like it. So number 2, absolutely do not prejudge. You're not selling, you're not recruiting. All you're gonna do is share with them what you're doing. Number 3, remember it is a numbers game. I remember hearing Jim Rohn say we can make up in numbers what we lacked in skill, and that like took the weight off my shoulders. Because when he explained that, listen, you could be so bad that you only get 1 out of 10. And maybe we have someone else that is so good, they get 9 out of 10 people they talk to. We can still beat them. They go talk to 10 people, they get 9. We talk to 100, we get 10. So it is a numbers game. So when I went through that recruiting run, and I went out and I go, look, I'm gonna go out and recruit and take my business to the next level. Anytime I do this, I understand it's just numbers. I understand that my goal is to say less to more people. And the way that I do that is I use third-party tools. What is a third-party tool? It's something else that does a presentation for me. Maybe it's a website, a magazine, a DVD, a conference call, a webinar, anything that allows me
Or
to
a
be the
landing
commercial
page.
and just gets them to watch the movie. So let's say when I was going through that recruiting run, or now when I go through a recruiting run, I only get 1 out of 10 people. And your numbers, you'll learn your numbers, and your numbers will get better over a period of time. But let's say I'm only getting 1 out of 10. That means that I need 100 people to review information to get those 10 recruits. So maybe I'm calling 40, 50 people to get 10 commitments. And then once I get back with those people and I go through the process, I'm getting 1 out of 10. So it's very simple. Once you learn your numbers, it's just a matter of how fast you really want to move. But when going through the numbers game, a couple points that I like for you to remember, it is a numbers game. Third party is always better than first party. Okay, you want to take the pressure off of you. Say less to more people. Instead of us begging that one friend that we know needs it for 30 minutes, but they don't want it, why not spend 3 minutes with 10 people and look for the one that is looking, that says, look, thank God you gave this to me. What took you so long? Where have you been? Okay, so you're say less to more people. Amateurs convince, professional sort. So if you're gonna go on a recruiting run to go build your business, you don't really have time to convince anyone. So those are some of the key tips when I was going on my run, understanding it is a numbers game. And the more numbers you work, the better you're gonna be. You're gonna get into a rhythm, and then you're also filling your funnel. So as you continue to fill that funnel, what's gonna happen is you're always gonna have people that are calling you up going, listen, I wanna become a customer, I wanna join your business, or they wanna do both. But it is a numbers game. Number 4, as you're going through the numbers, remember the fortune is in the immediate follow-up. You've got to have a sense of urgency. You have to strike while the iron is hot, while their emotions are still involved. So if I'm talking to you and I go, listen, I'm excited about something, I'd love for you to take a look at it. It may or may not be for you. Okay, whatever you're saying to those people, maybe I'm listening to what you're saying, which is key, and you go, I would love more time with my family. I cannot stand my job. I would love to retire my spouse. We want to change zip codes. I want to give more to my church or charity. All I do is I just listen and I remind you of what you said and go, were you serious when you said you wanted more time with your family, or were you joking? And they go, no, I was serious. Well, look, I don't know if what I'm doing is for you or not, but I'm really excited about it. I get you the information. The fortune is in the immediate follow-up. What I try to do is set a time to follow back up with you of when you're going to look at it. I go, listen, if I give this to you tonight, if I give you this magazine, would you look at it tonight? We grab coffee in the morning. If I send you a text message with a short video, would you look at it? And I'll call you back in 10 minutes. So I try to strike while the iron is hot, knowing that it takes 5 to 8 exposures. Remember, we talked about recruiting as a process, it's not an event. So my goal is to take you from exposure to exposure to exposure until you recruit or sell yourself. It's pretty simple. How do I follow up? What do you say? You know, I don't get caught up in all the verbiage. Here's the best thing I've learned to say when I follow up. Hey, did you get a chance to look at it? Great. What caught your attention most? Was the product, business, or a little bit of both? Because either one, we win, right? The product, the business, or both. No matter what they say, I go, that's one of the best parts, because it is. What did you like best about what you saw? I don't say, what do you think? That's like saying, what do you think about the election? What do you think about this? That's just an open-ended road that you don't want to go down. So what did you like best? Product, business, or both? What caught your attention the most? Something very simple, but knowing that I'm going to take them through exposure to exposure, and then when the timing's right, they'll sell or recruit themselves. And no doesn't even mean no. I've had people go, no, I'm not interested. All I ask them is this: hey, listen, do you mind if I keep you posted on how I'm doing? Or do you mind if I update you every now and then on how things are going? Sure. 6 months later, maybe they had a pay raise, they love their job, life is great. 6 months later, they got a pay cut, they have a new manager they can't stand, they want to put their kids in a private school. No doesn't mean no, it means not now. So as you're going through the exposure process, as you're going through the numbers, I never take them off my list unless they make me mad or I don't want to work with them, right? I used to want to try to get people in my business. Now I decide if I want to let people in my business, and I continue to follow up, take them from exposure to exposure until they recruit or sell themselves. Hope that makes sense. The fortune is in the immediate follow-up. And last but not least, tip number 5, work with the willing. One thing, if you're going on a recruiting run, you're ready to take your business to the next level, you're ready to explode out of the mud. That's the great thing about this industry. No matter where you are right now, you could have been in your company for 2 years, 3 years, it doesn't matter. And you go, listen, on this day, I saw this video and something clicked. And let me tell you what happened the next 90 days. But when I was going through that, when I do go through that now, I'm working with the willing. You work with the willing. Some will, some won't, so what? Next, somebody else is waiting. It's easier to run with 1,000 people than drag one dead body, right? It's easier to give birth than raise the dead. Don't look back unless you want to go that way. So you're going through the numbers, you're following up, and then you're locking arms and you're walking with the walkers and you're running with the runners. So those are 5 key tips. Some of you may say, that is so simple. How could he go out there and do those simple things? Because it is simple. And when you do the simple things and you do them day after day after day, and you understand it's a numbers game and you compress those numbers into a shorter period of time, and I believe it's easier to build your business fast than it is to build your business slow. Not too many people want to go run a marathon, but if you give them something, go, listen, if you want to sprint, we can help you explode to the next level. They're ready to do that. And with that energy and excitement that's in your voice and the new stories of people that you're bringing on board, you're going to find that it starts to compound and it grows even faster. It's like a snowball. If you get in front of it, when it's rolling down a hill, eventually if you get in front of it, you become a part of it, and it continues to snowball bigger and bigger and bigger. Question of the day: what's the #1 challenge that you're having building your network marketing business? Because I like to use that to create future training content and videos for you and your organization. Please make sure to put that in the comments below.
All right, save that question of the day. What are your biggest challenges? Maybe Janet can help you with that after the segment. But for now, some reactions. What did you think about what we just saw? For me, there's a lot of real nice gems in there that are really great. But the one where he says, stop trying to convince people. Has anybody had that, especially when you're dealing with friends or family, where you're just trying to convince them that, look, I know this is new to you, but you don't know what you're missing. You don't have any idea what you're missing, right? And then you find out that when you take the approach where I just say to somebody, you know, it's to take it or leave it. You can leave it, that's fine, but you're missing out. And then I just leave it like that. And then I follow up a little bit later. So I noticed that stop trying to convince so hard and kind of you know, like what Fraser Brooks said, you know, you can dangle it out there and then just take it back, so that they don't think it's always there. There's a limited time, or it's just not so accessible. And I think that, you know, is something that has helped me grow my business a little bit. All right, so how about you? What are some reactions from the video?
Well, I thought it was just like John Kinnear's video. It was a rerun of exactly what John Kinnear tells us to do. I actually shut my eyes and I thought it was John Kinnear. So
Well,
it was very powerful.
This guy, Darren, speaks with a little bit of an American Southern accent.
Yeah.
I think Kinnear's from Canada, right?
Oh, to me, it was very powerful. It's all what we've been taught. It's all what Ron teaches us. Yeah. Anybody
That's right.
else?
Yeah, Kinnear's video is, Kinnear has a power build video where it's about an hour, but he gets really in depth specifically about CFX. What Darren is doing can fit into any network marketing business. So it's a little bit more generic. How about anybody else with a reaction?
What I like is enthusiasm. You hear it on the room's head, such as Janet's enthusiasm, Ron's enthusiasm. Yours, Stephen, your enthusiasm. You talk with a smile on your face when you're explaining things. You all do. And it does. It creates excitement for the people who are there listening to it. It's something I've got to learn, I suppose. I've got to learn how to smile more. Not start. But no, it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's easy to smile when you're very nervous. I'm very nervous on this call, so just kidding.
Don't believe it.
Yeah, no, I'm getting better at this. The more I do, I get the more, you know, it's just like the more you do it, the better you get, right?
You're doing really well.
You look comfortable, Stephen.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. All right. Okay. How about Thomas? Can I call on some people? Thomas, do you have any reaction to what we just saw?
Hi, Steve. Yeah, sorry, I've been in sort of listen only mode because I've got loads to do. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I kind of agree. You know, as you say, it's generic. It's like it's quite simple. This is all the successful people in the world that are successful network marketers follow the same strategy. Those 5 points there, they're exactly what every successful network marketer does. You know, so it's not hard, is it? It's just those 5 things. Just follow those 5 simple rules. And as I say, John Kinnear says round about exactly the same thing, and so does Fraser Brooks. So does everyone. It's like, you know, it's just the simple steps, and so don't be disappointed when it doesn't happen immediately, because I mean the great analogy there is, you know, with the garden. It's like the old bamboo story. You know, 5 years under the ground, and then, you know, a meter a day sort of thing. So yeah, it's just accepting it's going to take time. It is a numbers game. Be enthusiastic, be in a hurry. And it's like, well, look, you know, just gave you the opportunity. Don't take it. It's fine. It's fine. I just thought I'd offer it to you. Don't worry about it. You know? And as you say, get back some time later. And, you know, I think, of course, in that time, you know, the more success you're creating yourself, because that's why it's so good to use a third party. Because although we may have just come into this, we may not be, you know, but we've already got people in our team that have had huge success. So we've got those people that we can bring in, you know, Ron and Janet particularly, that can happy to go through their back office, show the success that they're having. We know that we're going to have that same success. It's just going to take a bit of time. It didn't happen overnight for Janet. It happened quickly, but because she put the effort in, the same job. Sorry, Ron. So yeah, just you know, I'm not moving as quickly as I'd like to move, but I'm moving, and it, you know, and I know that it will just gain pace. As I said, the snowball effect. You know, once things just start to get the momentum that you want to get, then, you know. So that's it. Be happy, smile about it. It's a great opportunity that we're sharing with people. If they want to take it up, their lives going to change for the better. If they don't, well, you know, we'll show them in a few months' time just how it's changed their lives, and perhaps then they'll be more susceptible to it.
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up, Thomas. And there's two topics that you can dedicate a whole call to them. But one of them is, you know, how do you motivate yourself? You know, you can look at Ron and just be in astonishment of what he's been able to accomplish. but it can also make you feel like, oh, I can never do that, right? So I always just say, look at somebody at your level who's a little bit above and try to get yourself up to their level. And I think that's a realistic way to motivate yourself to do that. Or look at Ron and look at Janet and look at Gabe and just try to get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And I think setting your targets, you know, your vision board, and yeah, you know, my vision board when I set it out was where I wanted to be for Christmas, and then I sort of step back and say, right, so to get there for Christmas, each month between, you know, when it was I did it back in June, you know, up until Christmas, each month I want to get to this stage. Well, I've been consistently a month behind my goals, but you know, it's just all right. I didn't get there this month, but I got a lot closer. So I'll just focus on that for next month, you know, so you just push things a little bit further forward. And because, you know, it's just like anything in life, you know, obstacles get in the way, things don't go exactly according to plan, but that doesn't matter, you know.
Thanks, Thomas. Just remember, this group is called Forex Superstars People Helping, and that's what it's about. And I think most people on this call realize that you can contact anybody individually on Facebook or the Telegram or wherever if you want to chat about CFX or challenges or anything. You know, Janet and Ron are open to a private chat with you to help you. And just for me personally, Colin is my sponsor, and I chat with him almost every day about this opportunity. And he motivates me because he's my sponsor. So we kind of started, he started a month before me. So I'm in line with what he's doing. So if you can find an accountability partner, or if you can chat privately with Janet or Ron, take that opportunity to help you with this business. Okay. All right.
Just on that, or just on that note, you're saying, yeah, you know, your sponsor, you speaking to you speaking to your downline as well can also motivate you too. That's another thing. So, you know, I speak to some of the people in my team, and they motivate me too. You know what I mean? Because I can see sometimes they're having some enthusiasm and telling me their story and things like that. So that's another thing as well. Yeah.
Fantastic, Gabe.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Yeah. Talk to your downline as well. Terry, you wanted to say something?
Yes, yeah. Some of the points he came up was very good. You know, because I've heard it obviously in network marketing, which I've been building in the past. But the part where he says it's just a numbers game, and it's absolutely true. On a book that I'm currently reading, or I'm rereading over and over again, I've actually turned down one particular page that I always go back to, and they said there is no exact formula for success, but it's a numbers game. If you knew that if you spoke to 1,000 people, you would become financially independent. All right? Now, it says, and that's not a lot. That's 2 a day for a year and a half. That is not a lot. And he says, and it doesn't matter. It said on the book, he says, I haven't said who's going to say yes, and I haven't said who's going to say no. I've just said, if you're prepared to talk to 1,000 people, you will become financially independent. And that's one just to keep in mind. Okay, yeah, it's going to happen. It's just, you know, there's no shortage of people, no shortage at all.
That's right. That's right. All right. So thank you, Terry. Thank you for that. Okay. So I'd like to open the floor up to Janet and to Ron for the remainder of the call. Janet, the floor is yours if you'd like to share anything or.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Well, I just keep reverting back to my story, and you've heard it a million times, and so has Ron. But yeah, if it wasn't for Ron, I wouldn't be for where I am. But I wanted this so badly that nothing got in my way, and I set myself very accountable to me, and never a day went by, and I put went in the past, that I didn't send out 25, 30 messages a day. And I put all the messages into a group with Ron. Well, it wasn't a group then, it was just me and him. And he gave me every single response. Now, we've opened this up to everybody. Everybody's got their own individual groups. But what Ron and I notice is they're not used. They're very rarely used. They might be used for a week and then it disappears. And then another week goes by, or we'll send a message out, what's happening. We don't want to push you to do it. You want to do it yourself. But the groups are there and a lot of them aren't being used. So really it comes down to yourself. How much do you really want to get to your goal? And it's not the top pack. It is a pack for where you can sit comfortably and continue to grow, take some money out for yourself, but still move forward. And for me, that was actually 10,000. I'm now at 15, so I'm really quite comfortable with it. And I'm still building towards the higher packs. But what I have found by doing that groundwork is that I'm getting people come to me now. I've stopped sending out messages because there's too much interaction. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's really good because people have seen my success. I've got over 500 followers on Facebook. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but to me, that is really good. So I'm now working with people that are following me because there's a reason why they're following me. So I've now gone to those rather than going with cold messages. But it is being accountable to you. We don't want to get anybody on a mentoring call and say, you should be doing this, or why aren't you doing that? Because it's got to come from you, from within. And if you want it, you'll do it. And we're here to help. And smiling, that is another good one that I took from that. And I was taught that a long time ago when I used to be in sales. Smile. Even if you're on the telephone, smile. Because it does come over in your voice that you are happy, that you are excited. You want to help the person on the other end of the phone. So whether you're visible on a mentoring call or you're visible on Messenger, then yes. Let me just mute Sandra out. Perhaps that's it. Just smile because it really comes over in a big way. Okay, I see Sheila's in Ron's place, so Ron must have left the floor. Hi, Sheila.
He's lying on the bed. He's lying on the bed. He's a bit sore now. I think the injections are wearing off a bit, so he's just having a lay down. But he's left his dog.
Not to worry. All right, thanks, Sheila. Wish him well from us. So what I thought we would do before we close this down, we've got about another 15 minutes. I would just go through the landing pages again. I think many of you have got them, but if you haven't, let me just go to the landing pages and show you the one with the survey, because as you are probably aware, there are two options on the landing page. There's one with a survey, whereas your sponsor will actually pay for you to have a landing page. But if you want to have the survey as well, oh, okay, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Right, let's start again. There we go. So if you want to have a survey on this as well, this is another £20 from yourself. So we don't very often show this. So what you need is a photograph of yourself and obviously your email address. And this will be put on the front of your landing page. You can click on here. And if somebody really does not want to do the survey, they don't have to. You can go skip here and it takes you to the original landing page. Right. What are the most important features of this landing page? The 90-second video that whets the appetite and the 8-minute video from John Kinnear. But we have also had now Joanna's videos put in here under the testimonials. There's a few people on the call that I know haven't seen her video, but this is Joanna, who's also on here as a banker, saying how good CFX is. but this is her new presentation that she has done for us, all about the business, right the way down to the team building. So they can actually stop it halfway through if they only want to know about the passive side. But if they play it all the way to the end,
let's quickly run through the various.
See here.
Claire. So Claire gets 4.
She actually goes into the team building side of it as well. So all the information
forced onto this second row, and she's
shows I'm not the techie one in this team, doesn't it? Right, okay, and let's just go back again. And lastly, for people that may be new to the landing page, is we have these packs here that a person can actually decide what the business would look like depending on what sort of level they would come in. And if they came in on a 1K pack, they can click on here and show, oh dear, that if they came in as what Ron calls a pocket money member, they would be getting $140 a week. But if they bought somebody in the same month on the same level of $1,000, their income would be $644. So very quickly, they would be getting their seed money back. So that's just a very brief overview of that. Okay. Has anybody got any questions on the landing page or any queries or help that they may need with their mentoring, or they may want to come through to us privately afterwards? I don't want to embarrass anybody here by opening up to anything they may not want to say, although we're all friends here. Yes,
I saw something on the landing page there when you clicked on the 1K pack of what they would earn passively and what they'd earn if bring 3 people in. But it says underneath that they'd earn that $668 monthly, but it wouldn't have. There'll only be the first month when they get the fast starts.
It would only be the first month.
It says monthly underneath, and it's not quite right there.
It's not quite right. I agree with you. That does need to be pointed out. But I don't think that we can keep asking Steve to order it.
No. You just explain it to somebody. You know, this is the first month. Oh, if you want that every month, we're bringing 3 people every month then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, thank you, Terry. Likewise, also that needs to be said with the landing pages is that the Gmail, if people do sign up, they do need Gmail. But again, we want to hold their hand. We don't want them signing up via the landing page. No. Thomas, yes.
Can I just say, to reiterate that was discussed a long time ago when the landing page came up, and as Jan said, you know, it's a lot of work for Steve to continually go in and tweak things and change things. But the whole ethos is that you take someone to your landing page and you talk them through the landing page. So you've got the opportunity to say, you know, like, why do the survey? Look, if you don't want to fill out a survey, it's fine to skip it. Otherwise, they might not realise that, because you have to click on to take the survey before you can find the skip survey. And then when you're in there looking at the packs, you want to be explaining that to them. So, you know, letting them look at your page and click on various things, but explain it as it goes, because as you say, you know, you absolutely don't want someone signing up without your assistance, because that's, you know, and that's why it's so important. The fast start bonus is so strong because you have to put time in to do it, you know. But you know, and that's why you're going to get the fast start bonus time after time after time. So it's well worth you putting that effort in. If it takes 2 or 3 hours to get someone started, that's 2 or 3 hours good work. You know, because through the future, that's going to pay you huge dividends. But it's really important that you do that you don't let someone go at it on their own. You know, just so that's it. Take to the landing page, talk them through the landing page, make sure they fully understand everything, so they can navigate it and they go away and go back at it and have a look at it themselves, knowing exactly what everything means and how to interpret it.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. That's okay, Stephen. Yes.
Just a note about the video that you showed with Joanna. We did that a few weeks ago on a call. She did her full presentation. It was about 40 minutes. So it's very powerful. So if you have prospects, especially people who know you personally, that won't mind watching a 40-minute video because you urge them to, it's really great. I mean, she's done it so many times that it's really smooth. This one in particular is technically very clean. There's not a lot of background noises or dogs barking, or there's not a whole bunch of faces in a Zoom call. It's just her face. It's her slides. And she does very like Janet said, you know, she touches upon, you know, let's say you sign this person up, what will happen then? So she talks about the business too at the end. And so it's very powerful. I remember when my mother saw Joanna's video that she did before that a few months ago, and my mom showed it to other people that came over for dinner, and they were blown away by it because of how professional she is. So it's very powerful. I just wanted to remind you to watch that and just put to people.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, when I get people onto a Zoom call, and hopefully they can give me an hour. I did one last week actually, and this chap said, I've only got 10 minutes. And I very nearly said, don't bother, because what can you do in 10 minutes? And I wished I had said, don't bother, to be honest, because I had to rush through it so quickly. And it's what bits do you pick out to tell them that are important? And I said to him, so what has the guy told you about this? So he said that I'm going to come on, I'm going to earn money if I put some money in, and he's going to get 15% if I join. And that was all he knew about the present. I was surprised that he even came on a call. And I tried to touch on it, and he was forever chatting to other people while it was going on. And what I should have done is taken control and said, when you have got the time to listen, I will Zoom with you again. So for me, that was another learning curve. And needless to say, the chap hasn't signed up. He hasn't even answered his friend's call. And I feel I'm partly responsible for that, for not taking control. So again, to say it's a learning curve.
Part of, you know, we're not going to touch upon that in this call, but overcoming objections is a huge part of this. Unfortunately, we have to do that. And Joanna's video, if you haven't seen it, at the end, she really gives good scripts and things to say about people that go to Google and see the bad stuff out there. And that's something new about that presentation. One thing she doesn't do the journey from 300 to 100K. She did that in a previous one, but in this new one, she tells you how to diffuse the thing about, well, what if I go to Google? What about all the bad stuff on Google? So you have to see that.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Right, well, we're nearly at an hour, and I don't know how many of you have actually seen the last message from Richard Maud, I believe it is, that Ron has put out about withdrawals, and Ron would like me to actually read it out. So we're just going to close the call with this particular message. So after speaking to Richard Burnell, who has just had a one-to-one call with John Kinnear, the update is as follows. John said it seems that the developers have found and fixed the glitch, which was causing our payment processor to pay out double 20% of all withdrawals. However, as you would expect, they are still playing catch up. They fully expect by the end of this month, so in around 6 days' time, to get the pendings down to 4 weeks, but it will take some time to get the payments down to a week. Well, you and I all know that CFX are paying out millions and millions and millions of pounds every single day. And for the new people that have come in with the smaller packs, this really shouldn't be a worry, because class it like an ISA or a savings plan. You put money into one of these things and you don't expect to go robbing it every 5 minutes. You want to build it up to a pack that is going to pay you. So forget the withdrawal issue. We all know it will be resolved. And if you are at the higher packs where you are lucky to take a little bit out for yourself and still leave enough in there to grow, as I am and Gabs is, then even better, put a little bit in every week so you actually get a little bit of money coming out every week. It's just knowing the way to handle the situation, because at the end of the day, it will be resolved 100%. No fears about that.
That's
Okay,
right.
thank you very much.
You can, Janet, you can use the garden analogy for this thing too. If you have a seedling or a sprout growing, you're not going to just pick it,
No.
right? So you have to let it grow and let it bear some fruit before you start to, reap and harvest that.
You do. And one last thing, because I know I've got somebody on the call who I spoke to yesterday who had no idea about split payments. So the split payments, I'm not sure when it's going to be introduced, but Waska wants to bring in to be able to top up. So if you are $100 or $200 short from your profits in your back office, he wants to bring in the facility to be able for you to be able to top it up with Bitcoin to move you along to the higher pack. So when it's starting, I don't know, but that is another fantastic feature. Our business just keeps on giving. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of CFX? Why wouldn't you want to share it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Janet. If anybody wants a link to the video we saw today, just check the chat right now before we close the call. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, unless anybody has anything else to say, I thank you all for coming on the call. Thank you, Stephen, for doing such a brilliant job at hosting and sharing some golden tips. And we will see you hopefully on the next one, which is 8 o'clock tomorrow night, UK time. Thank you very much indeed, and enjoy the rest of the day. Have a productive day.
Yeah. Bye,
Thank
Janet.
you.
Cheers, Jan. Cheers,
Have a great
Steve,
day.
everyone.
Bye, Janet.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.